Okay, what's up, traders? Got Andre here from edgeful. We're going to go over markets
What's
right
up?
now, some AI stuff. But Andre, if you just want to introduce yourself, and then we can get into it. I'll let the guys know in the Discord that we are live as well.
Yeah. So what's up, guys? My name is Andre. I'm the CEO of edgeful, and yeah, it's great to talk to you, James. As always, obviously,
Yep.
we've been talking for a minute now, probably over almost 2 years,
Yeah,
which is
dude.
kind of crazy now. We spoke first in December of 2023.
Yep. Yeah, it
Yeah,
has
it's
it has been
nuts.
quite some time, and obviously edgeful's come a long way since then in terms of like what you guys have been doing behind the scenes. You got the indicators now, you got the algos now as well. So
Yeah.
maybe we can speak a little bit about maybe just give a little bit of a brief introduction for those that are watching for the first time, what edgeful does, and then we can get into some more in-depth stuff.
Yeah. So pretty much, like, if you guys ever had the question of, like, how often does Friday make the high of the week? Or how often does price break out of just one side of the initial bounce? How often does price retrace to this point on this day? Right? Like these how often does this happen questions in trading is like your answer is going to be an edgeful. So right now we have over 100 different reports that cover literally like 100 different topics. So whether it's about the initial balance or the orb or fair value gaps or really like anything you can think of, we have the answers for, and that goes for Forex, crypto, futures, and stocks. So even if you trade options, like, you can use the stock data on that. But it's a very simple and intuitive way to actually have data in your trading without having to be an analyst. So
Yeah.
what that means is most people are going to buy because there's a new high of day, or sell because there's a new low of day, or sell because there is a new high of day, right? Like, it's all just completely arbitrary. There's a liquidity sweep above high of day. I'm going to go short now because of like whatever reasons.
Sure.
And they don't know that the entire, like, the Mag 7 plus all the major future indices are like screaming bullish, and they're going short because there was like a break of a new high of day, liquidity sweep, or whatever you want to call it. And now they're trying to like continually short when like everything is very obvious, like all the data is showing that price should move higher. So without having some form of data, you're never going to know how to actually position yourself in the markets. You cannot just like vibe your way through the financial markets. That's like honestly a recipe for disaster. But we make it so you don't have to be an analyst or a quant or a programmer to be able to actually have access to this type of information.
Sure. Yeah, and I think that's kind of like I would say in almost like that's almost the main thing, because I think a lot of traders are trading, based off more discretion, which is good, but you still have to have data in your side, in your favor, and to take discretional trades. Like for me, I have the algos running in my with edgeful, but then I've got my discretional trading, but I'm still taking trades based on statistical probabilities. Maybe we can get the edgeful back in your side as well, Andre. Maybe we can share the edgeful website and maybe go over a few things. Something that I'd like to go over as well. Like if we look at today, so let's
you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, share your screen. I'll get my screen up, and then we'll switch to yours as well. But let's go like this. Let's go like that. You guys should be able to see my screen right now. Make sure to put your questions and comments in the chat. This is obviously for anyone that is watching. But you can actually see this is the screener with edgeful, and this is something that's been helping me a lot with my discretional trading. You can actually see today more bullish than bearish, a lot of neutral. And we can obviously see that price action has been very up and down today on the NQ, which is no surprise. Obviously, we do have, it's kind of like a bank holidays at a half day. Stocks closing early today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's Columbus Day right now, so I think they are closing early.
Yeah, so obviously stocks closing a little bit early today as well. But let's bring up Andre's screen here and bring it up like that. Maybe let's speak a little bit about for a beginner, maybe for a first time user using edgeful, what would you say is the best thing to have a look at?
Great question. So we actually built a full page just for that question. And really the place you want to start is going to be this homepage at the top. I know it's like not really, it's like, yeah, of course, start at the homepage, but
sure.
A lot of people seem to skip this because they're like, oh yeah, I saw James use it. I saw whoever use it. Like I kind of have an understanding of like what to do, which is fair, right? You want to go in, you're excited to use it, and you want to like just jump right in. But right here, we have two videos the first thing that we want to show you on this is like how to take a trade using edgeful. How do we combine reports? How do we take this information and put a actual trade behind it? Right here, we have the ultimate bullish setup, and then we have the ultimate reversal setup. Right now, this video right here, chapter 1, video 2, ultimate reversal setup, has been working really, really nicely. And pretty much it's a combination of 3 different reports, and I'm not going to go into the details of what it is because the video is right over here. But it's a combination of 3 reports that when price sets up in this specific way, you want to not act, it's like, in this case, like if there's one situation, you want to expect a larger reversal, right? You have 3 key levels, they form every single time. And it also tells you when to actually stay away from this setup. But right over here is going to be a full, like a very detailed breakdown of how to use this. And a lot of people actually take the inverse of this trade and they get burnt every single time this happens. So super important is right over here, this video. It combines 3 reports. I highly recommend it, obviously. And then right here, this is going to be like how to use the actual features. If you're a futures trader, right here, how sessions work is extremely, extremely, extremely important. You guys have to watch this. So please, I'm not going to go through like this whole thing, but like chapter 1, video 2, and then chapter 2, video 5, super critical. Just start with those. And then you guys are watching the recording of this or you're watching this live. Right over here are my bookmarks. If y'all just zoom in here, honestly, just so you guys can have it. So if you guys want to look through these reports, you can. This is more than enough. This is more than you could possibly use in one day. This is like my full list of reports that I look at like over the course of like a couple of months. So don't be overwhelmed by the number in here, but this is just more so like, what could I be looking at? Right here is your short list of items.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of, like for me, even like those bookmarks, I don't even use. I probably got very similar ones, but I don't even use all of them. I'll probably use like the opening range, opening candle continuation, all report, and maybe sometimes I might dive into like the opening week range and the initial balance. But very rarely am I using like a whole host of them. I think the more simple you can keep it, the better.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to dive into a little bit of some AI stuff as well, Andre?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
This is going to be for sure more like interactive. Like I want you guys to ask questions on this, but what I'm looking for, like right now we're building edgeful AI. We're building the MVP of it, the minimum viable product. Like we're building like the lightest, most beta version that we can. So just we can get something out.
Sure.
And I have an understanding of like what that looks like, but like for anyone watching right now, please let me know, like, how would you want to use AI in your trading? Would you want to know, like, for example, let's look at yesterday. Let's look at this on yesterday, right? Or yesterday being Friday. There's a 1,000-point move down on NQ yesterday. So one example of a use case for edgeful AI would be, tell me every time that NQ was down 1,000 points or more in one day, and then what happened with this report the next day? Like how did the next day close? What happened with the initial balance the next day? What was the range of the next day? Like pretty much being able to speak to our database in plain English so you can go and like prepare for a day like today. Like in this case, today happens to be a bank holiday. You can even ask, tell me every time, like what has been the average range on Columbus Day for NQ? And it would go through and check all the different days and tell you, oh, the average range is actually significantly smaller than any other trading day. So if you want to take a trade, you should pull in your profit targets and whatever else, right? How would you guys use it? What's your ideal use case for like AI in your trading? And this is like an open-ended question. It's actually like genuinely like I want to know. If you guys want to leave it in the comments, that would be great.
Yeah, I think that's great because a lot of the times I was actually speaking to a friend of mine, Andre, like a lot of the times he was doing some manual back testing, you know, and like to do the manual back testing could take like the whole weekend to look at all back testing reports. And obviously, you know, if you can just bring up your trading view, the edgeful algo, just a basic back testing. But like, look, if you change a setting on there, it will automatically change within a couple of seconds. You know?
Yeah. So let me.
And that's similar to how the AI, like for example, if you needed the data for what you just said, if the Nasdaq drops 1,000 points in a trading day, what normally typically happens the following couple of trading days? You can get that quite quickly. We've got some questions here in the chat. Let's put them up here on stream. It would be great for the AI to be able to look at all the reports until you hear the most probable setups based off these reports. Is that something that it would probably be able to do? Well, I'm sure it would.
Yeah. So here are the most probable setups based off these reports. So what it can do, what it will in the beginning, it will not be able to do that because that's going to have to integrate live and historical data. But it will be able to do that eventually. But we are also redoing the what's in play. So we're going to be redoing this what's in play like entirely because this what's in play honestly is like not as like we're realizing that it's not really like what people actually want. And like we're changing it to be what I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second so I can pull this up. But just give me one sec.
Yeah, you're good. And then we got a few more as well.
Perfect. Hold on.
Yeah, I think this is good. Markets have obviously been very, very slow today. If you guys are trading, just be careful. It is a half a bank holiday in America, kind of. I don't know how to explain it. It's like Columbus, half a bank. It's half a bank holiday.
Yeah. Okay. So I know I've talked about this briefly, but what I want to do is so this is our design environment, but what I want to do here is show you guys kind of like the new version of what's in play.
Sure.
And what this is like, the idea of it is to allow you to pick multiple tickers, which is important, but also pick multiple reports. So the same way that right now you can pick multiple reports, but you can only pick one ticker in the what's in play. You'll be able to see, okay, I trade, sorry. So you'll be able to see, so this is the new design, right? Sure. This is the design environment. So you can see we have the overall bias at the top, similar to the screener. We have top setups. So these are combinations of reports. So ultimate reversal, ultimate bullish, like we can have the IB, like all these different setups, which are pretty much just combining reports that have the same bias. So you'll be able to see that. And then right over here, you can see like the reports in play. Obviously, this is a design environment, so keep this in mind. But the point being that you can have ES, NQ, Tesla, Apple, all here show up on the different reports. So for example, what you'll be able to see is ranked in the order of the actual data. You can see ES opening candle continuation by weekday. Today has a green opening candle. 92% of the time there's been a green day, your bias is long, right? There's not a specific target here because this report doesn't have a target, but the idea being we're going to tell you based on what the data is showing, which is something that the current what's in play doesn't do.
Sure.
So we're going to completely redo the what's in play, just so you guys know, because it's not nearly as useful without this piece. And this is actually going to be one of the pieces here. That the intention of this design is so you guys can read it left to right and understand what to do. So in this case here, ES, the report that's in play is the gap fill by size. Today, there's a gap up between 0 and 0.2%. 78% of the time, the gap has filled. So you're short biased targeting 55.25, right? Sure. You read that from left to right, and then now you get kind of like, what do I need to do today? Okay, this is a good setup. I have my percentage, I have my bias, I have my target. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense for me. Let me know in the chat if that makes sense for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, go ahead.
Let's go. Mark says, I would use it kind of just like you said, I'll be able to run all these reports on the fly and just get an overall review of everything to be much quicker on trade. Yes, and be prepared. Yep, sure. Okay. Accessing, yeah, okay, yeah. No, a lot of guys saying that would be very, very cool. They on board with that. Because I think, from my side of things right now, I'm really enjoying the screener, bro. So let's go like that. I'm actually, and I think this is kind of like, this does at the moment pull everything. Yeah, maybe not exactly what you would like, but this pulls everything on what I'm watching. Like I can see the whole mag 7, I can see the options, I can see the futures on what everything is actually done. Like I can actually see today, for example, ES and NQ and YM are all bullish first hours. So you don't really want to always, be fading that. So yeah, I think that but then obviously the AI would be more in depth. Like if you're looking not really like from a market perspective, like real time, it's like out of market hours looking for edges there.
Yeah, and like for example, the AI would also be able to say things like for example, if today's CPI, right?
Sure.
CPI is really important, really like a very, very key economic data that comes out.
Data point, yeah. Sure.
And you'd be able to say like, today's CPI, I like to trade the opening candle continuation and whatever. Let's just say opening candle for the sake of this.
Yeah.
Tell me how often there's been a green opening candle on CPI days that have also closed green on the day, right? So like you get to like really refine the types of like strategies or trades that you want to take in an instant, pretty much. Or like tell me how often there's been a green opening candle and price breaks the IB high. How often has price closed above the IB high? So now you're looking at only the days that have a green opening candle plus break of the IB high, which are two very bullish signals. And you want to know how often has price closed above the IB high. Or in that case, green opening candle, price breaks the IB high. How often has price run to the one-time extension on the IB buy levels report, right? You can literally it's up to you guys, like on what you'd want it to use it for. But yeah, that's something that we really want to figure out is like, what do you guys want? Because we have an idea of what we want from it. Yeah. Like I have an idea and like I have it like fleshed out, obviously. But I want to know, like, am I right in my assumptions? Like, would you want it to build you a trading plan based on what's happening right now? Right. So these are the types of things that like we want to know from you guys. So anyone watching, like, you don't need to answer right now, but you can also like message us on the edgeful app. You can message us on Twitter. You can like tag us on Twitter and let us know, because this is really, really important for us.
Sure. And Todd's just asking, when do you think this is going to be coming out, the AI stuff?
So, I mean, right now we do have a version that I've been playing with that is tailored to like the education around edgeful. So imagine it's like, you can ask any questions about the reports. You can ask like, what reports, like, what does this report mean? How can I use this report? Like, is there anything else that I should look at if I'm this type of trader? You can do that at the moment, but we don't have any of the actual data piece built into it yet, where you can say like, I want to know for every CPI day, how often has this happened? And that's something that we're going to get to, but we just want to like, we don't want to wait super long until we can get something out. So we're trying to like push this now, test it, like break it to make sure to like see where it's weak, and then go like continue to refine it. So hopefully in like, honestly, like the next 4 weeks, we can get some sort of beta out for a basic edgeful AI, and then we can always like build on it like we have with everything else.
Sure, according to what users want, et cetera, et cetera. Because I think once it comes out, people have a better understanding of what they what they want. But I think this will be good, because I think a lot of times people that are coming into edgeful can get overwhelmed with the data, in terms of like, okay, it's kind of too much, and let me just break it down. And I know obviously we got some data that I love the data and like dive into it. But for me, like for example, like I'm not a super, like I don't understand the data 100%. Like I'm a trader, bro. Like, but now with like the algos and everything like that, and using edgeful for the past 2 years, it's made me understand a lot more on what I'm looking for. And I think, even from my discretional trading, the less I'm looking for, the better. This seems like the right direction. Any data that can lead us in the right direction on any given day is helpful, whether it's trend or range bound. Yeah. I mean, just in terms of like I posted last night, I think you liked it on Twitter, Andre, but like the range days, even though today is a bank holiday, it always increases as the week goes on. If you look at the volume, if you just look at the volume and range by weekday, you can see I've also got very similar ones to what Andre has up there. But look at this in the last 6 months. Let's just even go to like year to date on NQ. Let's just go to this is ES. Let's go to NQ. We can actually see that the range picks up volume picks up. Like look at Monday, it's a lot less. And I also know from green and red days by weekday, so you can also go like this, like green and red days by weekday. That's why it's no surprise that we're getting a gap up this morning as well. Monday is pretty green, bro. Like in the last year to date, 65% of Mondays. And I know this was when H4 first came out. It's the same. It was pretty similar as well.
You know what's crazy? When edgeful came out, that number, if you go to, if you switch to ES, can you switch to ES quick?
Yep. This is year to date on ES. And guys, just a quick one. I had one of the guys that trade with me on stream every single day. You got to make sure that your right timings is on. He messaged me to say the data from edgeful is wrong. The data from edgeful is very rarely wrong. It just says his timing was 8 a.m. You got to make sure that the 9:30 a.m. open is on. If you want, you just got to make sure. If you could be looking at 8 a.m. Hey, I don't know. Maybe you're wanting to trade pre-market, find a pre-market edge, but just make sure the right timing is on. But yeah, go ahead.
So I was going to say that this Monday stat used to be like 90-something%.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It was honestly like crazy. And then sometimes you look at like gaps down on Mondays. It's like gaps down on Mondays, like almost always filled. Like they always close green. Like Mondays were super bullish. And then what's crazy is that there were other reports at the time, I haven't checked them recently, that would say that Mondays almost always make the low of the week on a green week. So like if you're a swing trader, not that anyone, like I'm assuming most people here aren't, but if you're a swing trader, like that's a really great foundation to say like, this is my opportunity to like set the base for the rest of the week and expect some continuation if you have a bullish bias on the week itself.
Yeah, no, that's, can we go to more questions? Byron, it would be cool if we can have AI watch our section where we can bookmark an asset like NQ and strategy like previous days, high break or all break, and where it's a high probability. It notifies us via alert. For example, NQ previous days range break 85% of the chance closing green. We get notified via alert or mail, SMS, etc.
Interesting. So pretty much like, let's say that you have that price breaks previous day's high and the stats are very good on it, you would be able to see, it would notify you like, hey, this is a very strong bullish bias.
Bullish day, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I think you'll be able to do that with the what's in play, but I think that you'll also be able to do that with the AI, just not right off the bat, like not right at the MVP launch.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I just from my experience using edgeful as well, I mean, Andre mentioned it. I've been kind of since the start with edgeful, and the more simple I keep my trading, because I was trading a lot of currencies before. And then like about last year, about August, I moved into only trading indexes. So DAX in the London session because I'm in South Africa, and then the American markets as well. The less is more for me. Like I don't try and look at every single thing because sometimes you can have conflicting biases, you know?
Yeah. It's tough. People try to really overcomplicate it sometimes, and you don't want to do that. Like you want to find a few reports that you like, and you just trade them over and over again. Like trading should not be exciting. Trading should be very boring and repetitive.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, any more questions in the chat? Andre and I'm live on edgeful's in edgeful's Discord as well as on my socials and edgeful socials every single Wednesday through Friday doing some pre-market prep. Please come join me there. It's 8 a.m. Eastern time. I walk through the trades that I personally take, showing you P&L, wins, losses, the good and the bad. And then I'm in the Discord as well. So yeah, make sure to check us there. The Discord is obviously free for anyone, whether you have an edgeful subscription or not. But yeah, I think that's a good chat about today about what could be coming. And then any other requests? I think you can put requests in the bottom right hand section of if you look at my screen, bottom right hand section, you can actually click that button there. You can say feature request, everything like that. Live chat, live support is there too. And because the more that you guys give ideas to the team, the better the user experience is going to be.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I think that we're one of the few, or one of the only companies that will actually like take requests and actually do it.
Yeah,
and it's important that you guys let us know, like, what do you want? What do you want it to be like? And we do take these requests seriously, so just please don't be shy.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that's good for today. And then we'll as I said, I'll be on the rest of the week with edgeful, and then Byron's asking when's the orb trailing stop getting added.
Soon. We have it ready, but we are honestly, we just need to do the marketing around it. We just need to like hype it up a little bit.
Yeah, there's always updates coming, so make sure stay involved in there's a newsletter as well that goes out. But yeah, we'll see you guys
every Saturday.
Every Saturday, and then I'll see you in there Wednesday for pre-market prep, and obviously in the Discord as well.
All right.
But yeah, have a good rest of the day, guys, and shot Andrzej for coming on.